So, good morning. This is the man from Chaunigan Lake. Today, I wanted to basically share that story that I mentioned in another, in one of the other videos about how we rescued Dr. John's truck. This is crazy story. Anyways, it's I'm not sure on the year, but I believe it's 2016, and it's again the same time frame. It's in June. In this year, it rained the whole month of May, and so the road into his place is that road that I also mentioned in another story, which is super rocky, and yeah, it's like a nightmare to get into his cabin by the road. So he's older. He's 82. He's 82 now. And so I suggested to him that they should park their trucks over at the lodge, and I could give them a couple of boats. They could unpack all their gear and go across the lake with the boats. But he says, no, he wants to drive in. But I notice he's not in his truck. So he's actually in his son's truck, which is a long extended truck. And so he's probably not familiar with everything. Anyway, so he asked me previously, so how's the hill? Well, I said the hill is pretty muddy, and I wouldn't suggest going that way. But of course, being the stubborn man that he is, he had to go and try. So it's kind of, we call that the high road. There's the high road and the low road. And the low road goes through the woods a bit, but it's muddy too, and there's some swampy sections. So most people want to go the high road. But this is a non-maintained Forest Service road. So now, every year it gets washed out when the snows melt off the top of Chaunigan Mountain and rush down the road. So it's got really deep ruts and stuff, and it's really bad. Anyway, so he leaves the lodge and he's headed out to go and try the road. And then, I don't know how long it is. It's probably about half an hour to 45 minutes later, and I see he comes walking back to the lodge. And I said, "Oh, what's wrong, John?" And he says, "Oh, the truck slid off the road and it's stuck pinned up against two trees." I said, "Oh, okay." And then I was just there chatting with Cornelius. And Cornelius, his dad owned Elkin Creek Guest Ranch. And he's up there. He came up with a friend from Belgium, and they had been out on the lake fishing. Anyway, so we were sitting there chatting for a bit when Dr. John came up. And I said, "Hey, Cornelius, let's grab a couple of the quads and let's go and check out. Maybe we can help him get his truck out." So we go up there with the quads, and right away, as soon as we see where the truck is, we say to each other, "We need a tractor." Okay, so I mean the truck. So apparently, I get the story from Dr. John, how he tried to go up the hill. He forgot to put it in four-wheel drive, because I believe it was a Ford, and he had to lock the front wheels. And that wasn't done. So when he tried to go up in the muddy hill, he couldn't get up. And then the truck kind of slid a little bit. And then he had to reverse. And Dr. John does not know how to reverse anything. Anyway, so he tried to back up the truck, and what happened is the truck slid off the road and now was pinned up against two pine trees. But not only that, two of the wheels were hanging in midair, and the front end was buried in the dirt. Anyway, so we look at it, we're looking at the truck, and of course we need that tractor. So go back down to the lodge. Dr. John, some of the people that were with him had hiked into his cabin. They had come back with some quads so they could move their stuff from the truck, and some of the stuff to the cabin, what they needed for the night. So I talked to Cornelius. I say, talk to your dad, see if we can borrow a tractor. And so I called them up at like 7 o'clock at night, and Cornelius says, oh, my dad said we can use a tractor. He'll charge like $50 an hour for the use of the tractor, since he can't be using it on the ranch at the time. So I said, okay, that's a fair deal. That's a fair deal. So the next day, Cornelius comes. He drives that tractor all the way up to the lodge. Takes him like 5 hours because, tractor doesn't go fast. And he's got to be careful. And the road is not, it's not a paved road here. We're talking, we live in the wilderness here. So it's a rough, like a 4x4 road. Anyway, so he finally makes it to the lodge. And I said, okay, I'll lead you with the quad. And so I go up with him, and we try to get in from the bottom of the high road where the truck is stuck. But there's not enough space to pass the tractor around the pickup truck. So now I said, oh my God, now we got to go down to the low road and go all the way around through the woods and then drop down by the front. And of course, now this is a four-wheel drive tractor, but the boom is going like this, boom, 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 because it's a really uneven dirt track through the bush. And a couple of times he almost rolls the tractor. Anyway, so we get up along the top. Now we go from the low road and we go up the high road, and we're coming down the mountain to where the truck is. And so, okay, he's got the tractor there, and I said, okay, hook up a chain from the tractor to the front of the truck. I put a come along with another chain to the back of the truck to a tree so that I could pull the back end when he started to pull the pulled the truck out of the ditch. But then, of course, first I needed to get a shovel, and I had to dig out where the front bumper was sort of dug down into the dirt. So I dug it so there was some space, and then it came time to do the maneuver. And so we did it slowly. So Cornelius pulled a little bit, and then I did the come along, and we did this several times. Now we finally get the pickup, all four wheels back on the road. And of course, Dr. John is sitting in the truck, and he says, hey Nick, you want me to back up? I said, no way. I said, you get out and get your son-in-law in the truck, and he can back up down the road and get the truck up. So that's what we did. Dr. John came out, the son-in-law went into the truck, and he backed up down the road a ways until he found a place where he could turn around. And he drove then down to the lodge, and of course, what I said in the beginning, that they should leave their trucks there and take the boats. That's what happened. So what they did is they backed up to where the dock is, and they unloaded all their coolers and all their gear and whatever they brought up. And they went into boats and they went across the lake. So, they could have saved themselves a lot of headache, and it cost about $400 for the tractor. And then I said to Dr. John, you know what? You're going to give the boy, Cornelius, $100 for coming and helping out. So that's what he did. But in the meantime, he says to me, well, Nick, I don't have that cash on me. I said, no problem, Dr. John. I'll lend you the money. I'll pay for it. I know you're good for it, so the next time you come up, you can pay me back. So that concludes this story. And I'm hoping that you're really interested and getting, more and more excited every time you listen to one of my stories and you want to hear what's next. What crazy stunts has Nick been up to? So thanks again for watching, and keep on sharing with friends and family and wherever you would like to share it. I appreciate it, and I'm grateful for every share. Awesome. Thanks a lot, and have a super day.